we grow, and eventually we enter into the direct dominion of God. And this is the purpose of our creation, to enter into the direct dominion of God, to become one with God. And yet we're not one with God. None of us here, I think, can say that we are one with God. And that's Pastor Frank the next time, he's going to speak later on today about what happened, why we're not there. Why, even though God created us with this beautiful ideal of being one with God, living with God, loving God, feeling God. For example, we couldn't hurt our brother because if we hurt our brother, we would feel our brother's pain because we would feel God's pain in hurting our brother. So that's how it's meant to be, but we're not there. But anyway, so everything goes through a process of growth. Now, this process of growth, you know what I'm going to do? I want more room here, so I'm going to... I'm going to do this. Yeah. Okay. So we have this process of growth. Now, this process of growth happens in an interesting way. I discussed free will. Let's examine free will a little bit more closely. Okay, let's look at David Roberts. Okay. Now, did I create my body?
No.
No. God gave it to me. Did I create the food that I eat every day?
No.
No. God gave it to me. How about the sunshine? Did I create the sunshine? The water?
No.
No?
No.
Nothing. I didn't create anything. Did I make this earth?
No.
Did I grow the trees that build the house that I live in?
No.
No. Okay. Did I put the dinosaurs on the earth that grew into the gasoline that I put into my car that almost got me back here this morning?
No.
No. Okay. Okay, so God did most everything, right?
Yeah.
And yet, can I automatically become one with God?
No. No.
No. So there's two things here. God did a whole bunch of stuff, all right? We say God's portion of responsibility. Okay, I'm going to just write R-E-S-P, okay? Because I don't remember the whole word. God's portion of responsibility. He did almost everything. You know, we could say, okay, he did 95%. Okay, actually, it's more like he did 99.99999999999.5%. But still, God did not do everything. Okay, mankind, human beings, also have a portion of responsibility. Okay, and that's infinitesimal compared to God's portion of responsibility. And yet, if I don't fulfill my portion of responsibility, God's will cannot be done. This is very important because God, in a sense, gave up part of his, God is all powerful. God could have made me obey him easily, but God chose to allow me to make my own decision whether I would follow him or not. So therefore, if God's will is that I become an excellent person and have a beautiful family, I could decide to rob banks and not get married and not have children. God's will would be frustrated because I didn't fulfill my portion of responsibility. So God's will depends on God's portion of responsibility and my portion of responsibility together equals 100% equals God's will. So if I obey, if I fulfill my portion of responsibility, I grow, and eventually I fulfill God's purpose. Okay? So this is very important. Also, in my life, just a brief aside here, I have two things that I need to do. In order to do God's will, I got to think of my whole purpose. Why God put me here, right? God put me here for a reason. I got to think of that reason. I got to live for that reason. And yet, if I all day long praise and sing God's praises, and I read God's word, and I do all those things, and yet if I never eat, what happens?
It's a problem.
It's a problem, yeah. What if I never have a family? Okay, some religions believe in celibacy, and actually celibacy has many times been an important pathway to spirituality. And yet, if everybody was celibate, what would happen?
It'd be over.
It'd be the most holiest generation. It would be so holy, it would be the last generation. Okay? We have whole purpose. We also have individual purpose. And fulfilling God's will means we got to fulfill both. We got to fulfill our purpose for God, but also we got to eat, sleep, drink. That's an important part too. Okay? Whole purpose, individual purpose. translate, did you say?
Yeah.
If I don't do it, I'm going to be in trouble.
That's right.
Yeah, because I'm a translator. Okay. Everybody good with this?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to wind this up. I'm just about done here. I'm going to finish this off here as soon as I find my eraser. Okay. So now, let's look more specifically then. Let's just get our microscope, our telescope, and let's focus in a little bit about what all this means in practicality, okay? Spent a lot of time talking about all kinds of exciting theory here. You know, I think I got chosen to do principle creation because I have a loud voice. Do I have a loud voice? I used to teach at Nikon, and the people in the room next to me used to complain that they couldn't hear their instructor because I was too loud. Okay, but it does keep people awake when we go to the less exciting aspects. Not unimportant, but perhaps, you know, abstract or metaphysical parts of the principle, which we're just about done with here. So last thing I want to talk about, it's specifically, I want to talk about what we're actually supposed to do in concrete terms, all right? God said to Adam and Eve, he gave them 3 blessings. He told them to be fruitful, to have dominion. No, to be fruitful, to multiply, and to have dominion. Actually, I can read the actual quote here in the Bible. Or maybe not. Because anyway, basically God said, be fruitful, multiply, and here we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, well, maybe not. Okay, I should have had it prepared, but I thought I had it memorized. Anyway, God told Adam and Eve, be fruitful, multiply, and have dominion. Is everybody familiar with that quote? I'll look it up in the Bible. By the way. Okay. So, what does that mean? Okay, we say these are 3 blessings. 3? That's a funny way to write 3. 3 blessings.
Roman numeral.
Yeah. 3 blessings. God gave Adam and Eve 3 blessings. Okay? 3 things. Fruitful, multiply, have dominion. This is the instructions that God gave to Adam and Eve. If God went to all the trouble to give these instructions to Adam and Eve, there must have been some purpose, some reason. And we'd better look at those instructions. And you know, if God said it to Adam and Eve thousands of years ago, this is what you're supposed to do, then it's what we're still supposed to do. So let's look at it. Let's look first of all. First one, be fruitful. You know, if I go out and I say, I had a fruitful day. You ever have a fruitful day? Okay. Anybody had a non-fruitful day? A fruitful day is a day that brings about results. We accomplish something. We have an ideal in our mind, and we go out, and that ideal becomes reality. It bears fruit.